Oh my God. Angel Reese fans. Oh my God. We got to break this down. As Angel Reese fans believe that Sandy Brondello and the Toronto Temple may be interested in having her join the expansion team.
Angel Reese breaks silence after Olympic snub. WNBA stunned. The basketball world just went silent. Angel Reese, one of the most talked about names in women's basketball, has been left off the USA basketball roster once again. And this time, the fallout is unlike anything we've seen before. While fans are holding their breath, hoping she'd finally get the call.
Where they got this nonsense, I have no idea. But there's an article, we're going to break it down. I don't think Sandy Brondello wants to touch Angel Reese with a 10-foot pole in terms of her joining her team. But let's break it down, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, and hype the video.
The announcement came and went without her name on it. But here's where it gets interesting. Instead of staying quiet, instead of taking the diplomatic route like so many athletes do, Angel Reese decided to speak out. And what she said has sent absolute shockwaves through the WNBA community. This isn't just another snub story. This is about a career to crossroads. A player whose talent is undeniable, but whose path to greatness has become clouded by controversy, drama, and questions that refuse to go.
Early December, Angel confirmed that she is staying with the Chicago Sky for her third season in the WNBA, where she was quoted as saying, "I'm under contract. I plan on returning to the Sky, continuing to talk to Tyler and build that relationship with Jeff and Tyler." Now, we all know Angel Reese flat out quit on the Chicago Sky. She wants nothing.
So buckle up, because we're about to break down everything that led to this moment and why Angel Reese's Olympic dreams might be slipping further away than anyone realized. Let's rewind for a second. Angel Reese has always been a force on the court. The rebounds, the energy, the presence. There's no denying her raw talent. She's built a massive following, a brand that extends far beyond basketball, and she's become one of the most recognizable faces.
It's nothing to do with being there. She literally said, basically, I'm showing up because I'm under contract, and that's it. I'm going to play for you guys what she actually said and the tone in which she said it, but Angel Reese don't want to be there. She threw in the towel on this team. Once they suspended her.
In women's sports. But talent alone doesn't guarantee you a spot on Team USA. And that's where this story takes a darker turn. Because while Angel has been building her empire off the court, her behavior on it has raised some serious red flags. And those red flags, they might be the very reason she's watching the Olympics from home instead of representing her country on the world's biggest stage. It all goes back to what happened with the Chicago Sky. And when we say what happened, we're not talking.
Angel Reese flat out quit on the Chicago Sky. She wants nothing to do with being there. She literally said, basically, I'm showing up because I'm under contract, and that's it. I'm going to play for you guys what she actually said and the tone in which she said it, but Angel Reese don't want to be.
About a simple disagreement or a minor bump in the road. We're talking about a full-blown implosion that left the organization embarrassed, her teammates confused, and the entire league buzzing. Angel Reese didn't just leave the Chicago Sky. She burned the bridge while she was still standing on it. Mid-season, right when her team needed her most, she walked away. The excuse? A back injury. But here's the thing, the timing was so suspicious, so perfectly aligned with a disciplinary action.
She don't want to be there. She threw in the towel on this team. Once they suspended her for a half, and then they were going to play her in the second half, and she was like, absolutely not. I said, my back is hurting, so I'm not coming in at all. As a matter of fact, you can't suspend me because I'm not coming back for the rest of the season, is what she ultimately did. The fans who bought tickets are expecting to see you play. And you just quit. Not. She's don't want to be there. She threw in the towel on this team. Once they suspended her for a half, and then they were going to play her in the second half, and she was like, absolutely not. You can't suspend me because I'm not coming back for the rest of the season, is what she ultimately did.
She just received that nobody was buying it. And the worst part, she didn't just step away quietly. She made it a spectacle. She sent a message that screamed, "You can't suspend me because I'm done with you anyway." And that message reverberated through every locker room in the WNBA. Think about what that means for a second. You're a professional athlete. You're under contract. Your teammates are counting on you. The fans who bought tickets are expecting to see you play. And you just quit. Not
suspended her for a half, and then they were going to play her in the second half, and she was like, absolutely not. I said, my back is hurting, so I'm not coming in at all. As a matter of fact, You can't suspend me because I'm not coming back for the rest of the season, is what she ultimately did to the Chicago Sky. And just
because of a legitimate injury that sidelined you for weeks before. Not because of a personal emergency, but because you got suspended for half a game and decided in that moment that you were done. That's not just unprofessional. That's a betrayal of everything team sports represents. And it didn't go unnoticed. The fallout was immediate and brutal. Teammates who had once defended Angel, who had stood up for her when critics came calling, suddenly went silent. Take Ariel Atkins, for example. Early in the season, Atkins was Angel's biggest supporter. She talked about the heavy crown
and just flat out embarrassed the organization. You had players like Courtney Vandersloot coming out because she had comments about Courtney Vandersloot and saying they need a younger point guard and Sloot might not be able to handle it at her age. And Courtney Vandersloot had to get on camera and fire back at her. You had players like Ariel Atkins who sat at the podium early in
Angel carried the pressure she dealt with, the spotlight that followed her everywhere. She was all in, but by the end of the season, reports suggest Atkins wanted nothing to do with her. That's a complete 180, and it tells you everything you need to know about what was happening behind closed doors in that Chicago Sky locker room. Then there's Courtney Vandersloot, a legend in the WNBA, someone who's earned every ounce of respect she gets. Angel didn't just disagree with her.
You had players like Ariel Atkins who sat at the podium early in the season defending one Angel Reese, talking about her crown is heavy and she deals with a lot and all of this stuff. By the end of the season, Ariel Atkins wanted nothing to do with the girl. She wanted nothing to do with her. So
he publicly questioned whether Vandersloot, at her age, could still handle the pace of the game. She suggested the team needed a younger point guard, basically saying Vandersloot was washed up.
With all of that being said, I don't believe that Sandy Brondello would want Angel Reese joining her team at all. To be completely honest with you, I couldn't see it at all. I don't see Sandy Brondello doing that.
Imagine being a veteran, someone who's given everything to the game, and having a young player who's barely been in the league throw shade at you like that. Vandersloot had to defend herself publicly, which is something no player should ever have to do because of their own teammate. That kind of disrespect doesn't just create tension. It destroys chemistry. It poisons the locker room. And it makes coaches think twice about ever wanting you on their team. So in December...
Hi, nice to see you too.
Do you plan on returning to the Sky for year 3?
I'm under contract, so yes, I plan on returning to the Sky, continuing to talk to Tyler, and building that relationship with Jeff and Tyler.
Thanks. And then, how's your back doing? Have you made a full recovery?
Rolled around, and Angel was asked about returning to the Chicago Sky for her 3rd season. Her response was telling. She said, and we're quoting here, "I'm under contract, so I guess I plan on returning to the Sky." Let that sink in. I guess. Not. I'm excited. Not. I'm ready to get back to work. Just a reluctant admission that she's contractually obligated to show up. Her tone said it all. She didn't want to be there. And honestly, based on everything that went down, it's pretty clear her teammates didn't want her there either.
Did that sound like somebody who was looking forward to going back? Man, I'm under contract, so I guess I'm going to just... She don't want to be there. I don't even think the players on the team want her there. I don't think Camila Cardoso want to deal with it. I know Courtney Vandersloot don't want to deal with it.
It wasn't a team looking forward to running it back. This was a fractured group, counting down the days until they could move on. But here's where the Toronto Tempo rumors started swirling. Angel was spotted at a Raptors game with her brother, who plays for their G League affiliate, and suddenly the internet lost its mind. Fans started dreaming up this fantasy where Angel would somehow end up on the new WNBA expansion.
And, how's your back doing? Have you made a full recovery?
Did that sound like somebody who was looking forward to going back? Man, I'm under contract, so I guess I'm going to just... She don't want to be there. I don't even think the players on the team want her there. I don't think Camila Cardoso want to deal with it. I know Courtney Vandersloot don't want to deal with it.
In Toronto, the Tempos, and everything would magically work out. They posted things like, "Angel Reese, come to the 6. We need your rebounding." They were already envisioning her in the jersey, talking about how she'd be the centerpiece of this new franchise. And at the center of this fantasy was the idea that Sandy Brondello, a two-time WNBA champion coach known for her leadership and ability to build winning cultures, would want
I want to deal with it. I don't even know if Haley Van Lith want to deal with it anymore. You know, like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I recovered at the end of the season. I was all good. So just continuing to do recovery on my whole entire body and figuring it out going into year 3. That was my focus.
On her team. But let's be real for a second. Sandy Brondello is one of the most respected coaches in the league. She's built her reputation on discipline, accountability, and fostering environments where players are all in on the team concept. She's coached the New York Liberty. She's coached the Phoenix Mercury. She knows what it takes to win, and she knows the kind of players you need to build a champion.
Would want Angel Reese joining her team at all, to be completely honest with you. I couldn't see it at all. I don't see Sandy Brondello doing that. I just got to be all the way real and honest with you guys. I can't see Sandy Brondello doing that. Let's take a look at what Angel Reese had to say.
Championship roster. And based on everything we've seen from Angel Reese over the past year, does she fit that mold? Not even close. Brondello isn't going to risk the foundation of a brand new expansion team by bringing in someone who publicly quit on her last team, clashed with veterans, and showed clear reluctance to honor her contract. That's not how you build a winning culture. That's how you create chaos before you even get started. The fan speculation was just that, speculation. Wishful thinking from people who wanted to believe in a redemption arc.
About her actually going back to Chicago, which she does not want to do.
See you.
Hi, nice to see you too.
Do you plan on returning to the Sky for year 3?
I'm under contract, so yes, I plan on returning to the Sky, continuing to talk.
That, frankly, Angel hasn't earned yet. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Angel's issues aren't just about one bad moment. They're about a pattern of putting personal grievances above the team, a pattern of burning bridges with teammates, a pattern of making excuses instead of taking accountability. And that pattern is what's keeping her off elite rosters, including Team USA. Angel has repeatedly said that representing her country in the Olympics is something she would never pass up. She's talked about how much it means to her, how it's the ultimate goal. But wanting something and earning it are two very different things. USA Basketball doesn't just look at your stat line. They look at your character. They look at how you handle adversity. They look at whether you're someone who will put the team first when it matters most. And based on Angel's recent history, the answer to that question is troubling. She's also talked about her off-court ventures, about giving 110% to modeling, to business, to her podcast, to everything else she's building. And while there's nothing wrong with having diverse interests, it raises the question of focus. Elite basketball at the Olympic level requires a laser-like commitment. It requires you to be all in, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. And when you're juggling multiple brands and ventures while simultaneously showing reluctance to fulfill your WNBA contract, it sends a message. Whether Angel intends it or not, it tells people that basketball might not be her top priority anymore. And if that's the case, why would USA Basketball take a chance on her when there are other players who are fully committed? The suspension, the walkout, the public conflicts, the lukewarm commitment to her own team, it all adds up. And it's created a narrative that's incredibly hard to shake. Because in professional sports, your reputation is everything. Talent can only take you so far. If coaches and decision makers don't trust you, if they question whether you'll show up when things get tough, you're not getting those elite opportunities. It doesn't matter how many rebounds you grab or how many highlight plays you make. Trust and reliability are non-negotiable. So when the Olympic roster was announced and Angel's name wasn't on it, it wasn't exactly shocking to those who'd been paying attention. The writing had been on the wall for months. But what was shocking was her response. Instead of staying quiet, instead of taking the high road and saying something generic about continuing to work hard and supporting her teammates, Angel broke her silence. And what she said has everyone talking. She didn't hold back. She expressed frustration, disappointment, and hinted at feeling overlooked despite her accomplishments. And while you can understand where that frustration comes from, it also revealed something deeper. A disconnect between how she sees herself and how the basketball world sees her right now. Angel Reese is at a crossroads. On one hand, she has undeniable talent, a massive platform, and the potential to be one of the faces of women's basketball for years to come. On the other hand, she has a growing reputation as someone who's difficult to coach, who creates drama, and who might not be fully committed to the team concept. And that's a dangerous place to be, because if she doesn't course correct, if she doesn't start aligning her actions with her words, the opportunities are going to keep passing her by. The Olympics, the elite teams, the legacy she could build, all of it is at risk. The WNBA community is watching closely now. Everyone wants to see what happens next. Will Angel take this snub as a wake-up call? Will she use it as motivation to prove the doubters wrong and show that she can be the player and teammate that elite programs need? Or will she continue down the same path, letting distractions and conflicts overshadow her talent? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the stakes have never been higher. The pressure is mounting, and Angel Reese's next move could very well define the rest of her career. The Olympic dream is still alive, but it's slipping further away with every controversy, every burned bridge, every moment where actions don't match words. The clock is ticking, and the basketball world is waiting to see if Angel Reese can rise to the moment, or if this Olympic snub is just the beginning of a much larger fall from grace.